So I decided not to do an intro this time, mostly because I'm tonta and I forgot to record it before I started my makeup. So right now I'm just kind of priming my face with some CBD oil. I ran out of my palm rose and sunflower seed oil, and like I said last time, I have an oily face, so I kind of prefer to stick with oil-based products when I prime. Um, I am just going to throw on some eyebrows here. I'm using the NYX, I'm not sure, the NYX pomade. And I've been using this one for quite some time. NYX has become my favorite brand for any kind of brow pomades that there are out there. And I tend to just set it with a black eyeshadow on top just because my hair is naturally so dark and I want to make sure that it's not patchy. Also, I might just add that my eyebrows never match at the beginning of me doing my makeup. My eyebrows always tend to be kind of wonky, not even friends really. So here's me taking that matte black eyeshadow and just packing it into that brow before I decide to take my spoolie to it. Face in three, two, one. So I'm going to take my spoolie at this point. That's me looking for it because I'm an unorganized human and I can never seem to keep my shit together. I always do upward strokes and side to side just to make sure that I really get that blended out because I tend to have a harsh line at the bottom from doing the base shape. And then I will just basically do a light underlining of the right eyebrow just to get that basic shape that I'm going to want throughout both eyebrows. So that's me doing that there. I tend to put a little bit of concealer on my lid just so that I can kind of use it as a paint pot and keep tapping in so I don't use too much and erase too much brow. And then what I just did there is I connect the two brows. I see a lot of people do it with the actual pigment for your brows, but I do it with the concealer because I feel like it's a lot less messy to clean up and it helps me keep my brows even. Again, see, paint pot. It's a little easier. I definitely got a little bit too much product on here this time, but my left eyebrow always ends up so much thicker and so much more work than my right. So, totally makes sense to me why I used more. And then I just take one of my fluffier eyeshadow brushes just to kind of buff out any harsh lines that may exist between my brow bone and the actual concealer. Plus, I tend to use concealer as a primer for my eyeshadow. So here we are, we're going to use the green, one of the darker greens from the Take Me Back to Brazil palette and just pack it onto your lid. Really like this color because it's just super pigmented and that's hard to find in like greens and yellows. So we're just going to do kind of a green smoky eye, which is why I'm just kind of packing it on there right now. I will explain more. Also, forgive me for this voiceover. It's my first voiceover, and we're going to see how it goes. So now I'm going to grab that black, and I'm using a dome brush just to kind of pack it in there. I feel like that helps get that pigment real tight and nice up in there. And just kind of buff it out. I mean, I definitely used two brushes. I decided to go in with kind of a fluffy flat brush just to kind of soften that line. I do end up adding a lot more black on top just to keep it kind of more even, but that's just because it's black and sometimes it decides to be gray. And then I'm going back in with that green just to make sure that that black doesn't overtake it because black does tend to kind of bleed into other colors. So it's just kind of playing back and forth and trying to find the right balance between the two and making sure that we don't have a harsh line between them. Just going to soften that up. Make sure my brow bone doesn't look too harsh. Again, just blend, 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 blend. So I decided to not do my foundation on camera this time. I feel like that just took a lot of time last time, and contour and stuff like that is a little bit more important on camera. So we just kind of dive right into that. I don't really remember what I was looking for here, but all I know is I made a lot of funny faces during this part of the clips. Again, I don't know what I was doing with my hands, but here we go. So I always put just a little bit on the inside of my eyes and the kind of apples of my cheeks, just mostly to open up the inner face. I have a lot of dark circles, so I tend to do a little bit more, but this time I went with just kind of a lighter concealer. Everyone knows this is one of the best setting powders, so yes, let's get that powder on our face. I tend to use a lot under my eyes, especially since I have kind of creases when it comes to the inner corners of my under eye. It just helps it set and not really look too ashy under there. I also throw some on my cheekbones where the contour, the darker bronzer powder is going to go, solely because it does tend to help it not get patchy. I forgot my Ipsy bag, and I had wanted to try out the bronzer slash contour powder they had given me, and the eyeliner product. So, welcome to my little random walk in. Brush also provided by Ipsy. I got too much on my nose, so I had to make my nose contour darker than I normally would. So, that's what that face is for. I'm just resetting the bridge of my nose and the sides of my nose just to make sure that that extra dark contour didn't bleed into the rest of my face. Officially not a powdered donut anymore. And then this was also a product that I got in my Ipsy. I actually really like this blush. I'm not much of a blush person, but I thought I would try it and kind of do an aesthetic look, especially since I was trying to do kind of a rave look for this moment. I had to put some lotion because I live in Colorado and my hands was dry. But I also made a mistake because then I couldn't open this and I had to use my teeth. All of the jewels that I used today were from the Wet n Wild products. Their Halloween line, obviously. Gotta hit that jewel. Nicotine fiend forever. I dropped my mic. And then I'm just gonna kind of blend out that lower lash line to make my eyes look a little bit bigger and tie the look together. And personally, I'm realizing now I should have placed these slightly lower just because, again, I do have kind of hooded eyes and that does make my under eyes kind of wrinkle. But next time I'll just put them a centimeter lower. At least we got them to kind of match this time. we're grabbing a bunch of them and just showing you my jewels, because I don't know why. I didn't even use them all. But we're going to just put a little bit at the end of our eyebrow. And we're going to put a little bit, like just 2 little rhinestones on there. My glue is almost empty, so it decided to kind of like not listen, and then it decided to randomly just splurge out. So that was cool. And then because of the lotion, I couldn't pick it up. And so in a second, you get to see me. Yep, see, there's my struggle. I was like, oh man, fine. I guess I'll just do the other side and then do the one I did first, last. My OCD said that's not okay. But at least it went on easily. Here's me contemplating if I want to add more, because can't really tell. Again, this was not really a planned look. I just kind of took a bunch of ideas that a lot of my friends had put up on Facebook and tried to match them together. So we're just adding some glue into the corner of my eye and then some loose glitter, golden glitter on top. So I did my eyeliner off screen, mostly because I had never used this eyeliner before, and I just wanted to make sure that it was actually going to work for me, which it did. I was actually quite impressed. So I'm using I think that's a hard candy lipstick, in the color Jealousy. I love this color. I've had multiples over the years, and I just keep having to buy more. But now I'm going to take one of the teal colors from the glitter palette from the Take Me Back to Brazil line, just to set it so that you really don't have much creasing. These are really creamy lipsticks, and it does tend to crease a lot more than preferable. Sorry for putting the mirror directly in your way, but I was trying to get my lips without putting it on my skin. I didn't close my concealer, so that was me showing you that I'm tonta. I had to end the video, so if you saw me spray twice, it was because my roommate came home and I had to open the door. But I still got that glow on. Okay, so that's the look. Kind of went with low-key rave look, something that'd be kind of easier to do because all of these gems, if you sweat them off when you're raving, they're not going to mess up like a majority of your makeup, which is something that I learned tends to happen when you wear gems at raves or concerts or anything of that sort. So I kind of like tend to go with more of a simplistic jeweled look when I do go to raves, because again, you don't want to like sweat it off and then sit there with so many holes on your face in your foundation, because the glue will take it off. If you watched it all the way through and you're listening to this outro, thank you. I appreciate you. Like and subscribe. Put in the comments if there's anything that you would like to see. I'm planning on doing mukbang or whatever, however you pronounce that, sometime in the next couple weeks, because I just think those videos are cool and I like to eat. Again, thanks again for watching, and I hope y'all enjoyed.